What do our Google searches really say about us? Today, we're going to dig into that massive digital footprint to explore our kind of hidden relationship with the natural world. And believe it or not, it all starts with birds. Okay, so picture this. It's January 2021, right in the middle of a cold, pretty dreary pandemic winter in New York City. The city's quiet, the world feels like it's on pause, and everything's just a little bit gray.
But then, something absolutely extraordinary happens. An unexpected visitor, all the way from the Arctic. This magnificent snowy owl just lands right there in the heart of the city. And for a moment, it captures everyone's attention. And this, right here, is the digital echo of that exact moment. Just look at this chart. That massive spike, that shows what happened next. As word of the owl spread, so did the city's curiosity. Google searches for snowy owl just completely exploded. It's a perfect example of how one little moment of wonder can translate into this huge surge of online curiosity.
That snowy owl, though, it was more than just a rare sighting. For a lot of people, it was what's known as a spark bird, the very thing that can ignite a lifelong passion.
So how does that journey even begin? How do we bridge that gap between just seeing a flash of color in the trees and actually knowing what it is we're looking at?
Well, it all starts with that spark. The spark bird is the one that makes you stop and really look. It's the catalyst, the gateway that makes you want to learn more, to put a name to the face, and to discover this hidden world that's been flying all around us this whole time.
And the process itself isn't nearly as intimidating as you might think. You start simple, just with a shape. Is it big like a hawk, or is it small and fast like a hummingbird? From there, you narrow it down to a general type. And before you know it, you've gone from just that green-headed duck to actually identifying a green-winged teal.
And it turns out most of us start this journey in the exact same way. We don't Google a specific species at first. We start with those general types. And as you can see from the data, across the entire US, the top 3 searches are for hawks, eagles, and ducks.
Okay, so that's how it starts for one person. But what happens when we zoom out and look at millions and millions of searches? Well, that's where some truly fascinating patterns and some really big surprises start to emerge.
Because here's the thing, this data reveals a huge disconnect. The birds that capture our curiosity online are rarely the same birds we actually see every single day.
Okay, check this out. On the left, you've got the birds most commonly reported by birdwatchers, things like the American robin. In the middle, you have the most Googled birds, like the bald eagle. And then on the right, the birds that are actually the most numerous in North America. See how these lists are, well, totally different? We search for these big icons, but the skies are filled with millions of tiny birds like the Savannah sparrow that barely even register in our collective curiosity.
So what does this tell us? It tells us we are drawn to the dramatic and the distinct. We search for majestic owls, powerful eagles, and noisy woodpeckers. But we tend to completely overlook the legions of sparrows, gulls, and chickadees, the common everyday birds that are often just dismissed as little brown birds.
And get this, the data shows just how selective our attention really is. Out of roughly 700 bird species in North America, only 98 generate enough search traffic to even be considered significant on Google. Just 98. That's it. And so, who are the celebrities at the top of that very short list? Well, it's probably no surprise that the bald eagle, a powerful national symbol, takes that #1 spot. It's followed by 2 birds known for their striking colors and, frankly, their bold personalities, the northern cardinal and the blue jay. These aren't just birds, they're characters.
And it's not just what we search for, it's when. Our collective curiosity follows this really distinct rhythm. Every single year, search interest peaks, and I mean dramatically, in the spring. This corresponds perfectly with migration season, right when millions of birds are on the move, trees are budding, and birdsong is just everywhere. It's when the world comes alive again and we start to notice.
And that yearly rhythm, it got a huge boost during the pandemic. In 2020 and 2021, when our worlds shrunk down to our homes and our neighborhoods, we started paying way more attention to our immediate surroundings. Birds became this really accessible source of entertainment and wonder right outside our windows.
So after looking at all this data, from single owl sightings to these massive continent-wide trends, the big takeaway is surprisingly simple.
Yeah, it really all just comes back to that one moment. Whether it's a snowy owl in Central Park or a little robin in your backyard, the entire journey just begins when you decide to pay attention. And when you do, something pretty amazing starts to happen. You'll find that birds have this way of giving back,
of rewarding your attention with these little moments of joy, wonder, and just pure curiosity.
So, I guess that leaves just one question. What's your spark bird going to be? What will be the bird that makes you stop, look up, and start to see this incredible world that's been flying by all along?